We're just having a deep conversation about who knows Vivica better, but I think you win in this one. You guys go way back.
I mean, since we were babies.
I know. You may know her as a producer or an actress, but she is a Hallmark favorite. Vivica A. Fox is here with us.
Thank you so much.
Her new show, Hallmark Channel original movie is called Summer in the City. You know what? We were kind of bouncing this idea around, and really it is, I call it pebble in a pond, but really when you make a choice, it affects somebody else who affects somebody else, and that's kind of what this movie is about.
Absolutely. I do a lot of motivational speaking, and I always say to Generation Next that the choices that we make today totally affect tomorrow. And this wonderful, wonderful actress, Juliana Guil. My gosh, this girl's got such an amazing future. I loved working with her. We made this film in Vancouver, and she plays a character by the name of Taylor Morgan who wants to get into the fashion game. And here comes my character, Alyssa Stone, who I love the character's name because literally her heart has turned to stone.
But she wasn't always like that.
And she wasn't always like that.
You actually see your younger self in Taylor.
Yes.
What choices did she make then that affects?
She let love stand in the way of her following her own dreams and totally believing in herself. And the character Taylor totally restores her faith in her designs, in her dreams. But they go through a heck of a journey discovering that. And it was wonderful, wonderful to play. It was emotional, it was funny, and fashionable all at the same time. So that was the best part, but it was. I mean, I cried a lot, and we laughed a lot, and I met some new friends, and I loved working with the girls. I really did.
Here's a clip that shows actually that dynamic you just spoke of. Okay. You guys take a look.
I mean, I know it's not Ohio. I just thought there's a human touch missing here. Maybe something homey and fun would wake these people up.
Taylor, you've seen the women who work and shop here. They'd rather jump off the Brooklyn Bridge before eating chocolate and sugar. Unless they're binging, of course.
What am I supposed to hand out? Diet Coke and cigarettes?
Point is, know your audience.
Speaking of which, it didn't just slow down here, did it? Do you think maybe you're a little out of touch with your audience?
Excuse me?
Alyssa, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm still finding my way here. I mean, what do I know, right? Look at all you've accomplished. I'm sorry.
See, that's it. That's the real gimmick to get people in here. Honesty. Honesty with me, with your staff, with the customers. That's why I hired you. Don't disappoint me.
Vivica, let me tell you, you light up a screen every time you're on it. I gotta say, you remind me a little bit of Anna Wintour. The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, a little bit.
Chocolate or sugar or off the bridge.
Right, exactly. And watching you play opposite her and that character Taylor, she is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, much like a young Vivica from Indiana, a small little town from Indiana. You, right after school, came right here with big dreams.
I did, yeah. I left 1 month after I graduated from high school when I was 17 years old in search of a dream that I've been able to live out beyond my wildest expectations.
What made you think you could beat the odds? Because you know now that you maybe you didn't know then.
What I know, I didn't. I mean, I just was like, I saw Michael Jackson and Diana Ross in concert, and I was like, where do they live? California? That's where I'm going. And I modeled before, but acting kind of fell in my lap. I was discovered by a gentleman by the name of Trevor Walton, who says, I think you've got a great look. And I mean, I was like, oh, what? Is there a photo shoot happening somewhere nearby? And he was like, no, I think you should become an actress. And then I worked on soaps, and then I just evolved and got better and ran into a lot of wonderful people that have definitely helped me grow as an actress.
Would they fall under the umbrella as a mentor or just sort of
definitely a mentor.
Influencers as you went along?
Definitely a mentor. Sheila Wills, who was my acting coach for many years. I met her while I was doing Generations. And I was a young whippersnapper there and getting a lot of attention. And some of the older actresses didn't quite care for me.
Interesting.
You know how that happens. The claws came out.
Yeah.
They was like, oh, no. And Sheila was the only one who...
Oh, look at you.
I know. My gosh. It's like 25 years ago. Me and Christophe St. John.
So they weren't having that beauty.
No, and Sheila was the one that was like, learn to take your moments. Learn to embrace this whole thing. Because, you know, when you first start acting, you got to hit your mark, cry, do a hair toss, and, you know, and get out all of your lines, and then go home and learn 20 pages the very next day. And so it was a lot for a young girl to learn at the time.
And it must have been tough for you. I'm sure there were days that weren't so easy.
Yeah, there were days that were scary, sure.
What advice stuck with you that she gave you that you said, okay, I can get up and do this tomorrow?
That you would pass on today.
Yeah.
To enjoy the ride. You know, I used to be so critical when I watched myself that I had to learn to embrace my performances and not judge my characters so intensely. I had the hardest time. I used to look for what I did wrong instead of what I did right. And so I was like my biggest critic.
Wow.
So now it's like I look and I learn and I'm like, okay, that was good, but next time it's okay to take your time.
Yeah.
So I always tell young actresses to show up, know your lines, be professional, and always know that each and every job you can live and you can learn from it.
Yeah.
Learn to listen
Yeah.
to your co-stars, because sometimes the actors are sitting there going, okay, my line's coming next, coming next, coming next, coming next, that they don't even know to take the moment to listen. And sometimes you don't even have to say a line. It can be a reaction.
Oh my gosh.
That's the best, you know what I mean?
That's
you
the
know?
best stink eye I've ever seen.
Do you know that sometimes there's more that you're reacting to the moment.
Yeah.
Then that way you pull the audience in
Yeah.
to the journey.
Do you take all of that you know into the business room when you put on your entrepreneur hat
Okay,
and
now.
just sit back and look at them and go, I don't know what you just offered me, but I don't like it. Like,
I mean, honestly.
Well, I will
'cause-
tell you, that's a different hat. Vivica, the actress, is definitely different than Vivica, the businesswoman.
You were a
crossover.
force to be
Well, thank
reckoned
you,
with
but
on The Apprentice, where you were so good.
Thank you. I made it to the final 3.
I
Out of
know.
16
I thought for
contestants.
sure you were going to win.
And baby, Geraldo and Lisa, I tapped out
Yeah.
because they could bring in $100,000 with calls like that. I
But
mean,
hold on.
It was
Wait,
crazy.
So can you? You
I
have a very-
did, but
you-
it was a different animal. It really was.
But-
and I had went as far as I wanted to go, and I raised $70,000 for my charity Best Buddies, which is the main reason
That's a
why I was there.
great organization.
And I was thrilled. And believe it or not, since I did Celebrity Apprentice, the phone has stopped ringing nonstop.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, your wig line that you're
The Vivica Fox hair
Clothing line
collection,
now.
Vivica Fox by Poetic Justice Jeans, and I'm in the process of closing a book deal. So yay! And then I'm executive producing the show Vivica's Black Magic. That's going to be coming out. I've got Summer in the City that's coming out. So it's a wonderful, busy, and blessed time for
Well, I'm
me.
glad you
on
fit in
fire.
time
Yes.
for vacation to
Yes, I
celebrate
did.
your birthday.
It is time to come here.